Good evening, SMGT students. My name is Luke Dailing, and for my capstone thesis, I'm focusing on Aramid waste streams and industry orientations towards circular economies. So just in short, Aramids are primarily used in the manufacturing of fire-resistant garments. That's what this research is going to be focused on, and the waste streams that come from the production of those garments. I'm going to be focusing a lot on the current company I work for, PGI. We're a small manufacturer of FR garments in Green Lake, Wisconsin, and we produce a lot of waste. These are clippings from some of our fabric patterns for our hoods that are going straight into the trash and straight into the landfill. So the primary reason for this research is to find out the operational inhibitors and consumer sentiments and industry sentiments towards adopting circular business models and repurposing this waste and creating a value stream. So for aramids, there are two types of aramids that we work with, meta-aramids and para-aramids. Your para-aramids are going to be your cut-resistant, high tensile strength aramid. Kevlar is a popular one. And then your meta-aramids are also somewhat cut-resistant, but more excellent thermal stability. So we use those a lot in our hoods, our firefighter hoods. So a meta-aramid will not burst into flames. It will just char. Most of these hoods will last 5 seconds in extreme heat. That's why they're vital for the industry and for fighting fires. So for a noble industry making noble products, it only makes sense to have a noble plan for your waste, basically. So a lot of this research is going to be focused on finding the operational inhibitors and economic inhibitors for small and medium-sized manufacturing firms in adopting circular waste models for aramids. And the quantitative data is going to be based on surveys sent out to fire departments across the country. This is to gauge consumer sentiment about aramid fiber recycling. So that's going to be the primary basis for that quantitative data. The qualitative data is going to be a lot of interviews and literature reviews and interviewing professionals in the FR garment industry and also professionals in the waste management industry to see where those dots need to connect and why it's not being adopted on a smaller scale. There are companies that are doing aramid fiber recycling. A good example is one up in Canada. They primarily work with aramids, and their main method of recycling is mechanical recycling. So they're grinding down these scraps, the suits, all that stuff into their constituent fibers. Those fibers are respun and then resold to yarn suppliers and basically reintroduced and blended with virgin fibers to create a garment that is recycled or partly recycled. So the main issue with aramids and the amount of waste that we produce, these are just some clippings I just grabbed out of a trash can, but we produce many trash cans a day of this scrap, and it goes straight into the landfill. So aramids are 100% non-biodegradable, and they often have many different fire-resistant chemicals in them for their flame-inherent properties. So that poses environmental issues, leakage, seepage in landfills. So it's a shame when we produce such a great product, but it produces a lot of waste. So this research is going to be exploring kind of what's going on in the industry, the scalability or descalability of some of the larger firms and their processes, and potentially how to set up a supply chain to deal with aramid waste. So preliminary research is pointing to a lot of economic inhibitors with getting this set up. So many firms have to pay to get their waste collected. That's true for a lot of other different waste streams. And for a small company like PGI, it just isn't economically feasible to have to pay to take your waste away. So it just goes straight in the trash. So Hopefully, to draw from the research, it will unveil methods and practices and doors to walk through to basically close the loop with aramid fiber recycling. And there are so many different variables to this. I could go on for 10 minutes, 20, 30 maybe, talking about this, but you know, you have your scrap aramid from cuttings. You have, so that's an upstream waste issue. Then your downstream waste issue is with the actual finished garment. So when these get to end of life, they're just thrown in the trash. Not all of them, most of them. So the processes involved in breaking these down, taking all the accessories out of them, and then shredding them are extremely time consuming. It's expensive, it's labor intensive, and there just isn't a lot of companies out there doing it. So it's a new thing. It's an emerging thing in the industry, and the basis of this research is to kind of see where it's going, where it started, how small to medium-sized firms can adopt these methods and you know, begin to orient themselves more sustainably. So a key thing that I have picked up from this degree is the difference between operational orientation and sustainability orientation. Your operational orientation, so you're getting stuff in the door, you're making a product, you don't care anything about the waste, it's all about the product, get it out the door, ship it out, bring the money in. Your sustainability orientation, still doing that, but you're paying attention to the waste. Okay, you're finding outlets for the waste. You're finding ways to reincorporate the waste, creating value streams out of your waste. So that is the beef of the research that I'm going to be doing for this project. Please comment and let me know what you think of the idea for aramid waste streams and industry orientations. I'd love to hear, and I'm looking forward to watching the rest of your videos on your capstone thesis projects. Thank you.